Hello friends and greetings for the day. Welcome back to another tutorial on ISTQB Advance Test Manager certification. We are in chapter 2 talking about test management and getting into the next segment, that is 2.8, distributed, outsourced and insourced testing. Many a times, a test manager has to experience different types of teams within an organization. Now, what do you mean by different types of team? Of course, sometimes all the members of the team will be at one place. Sometimes people are not at one place and distributed, probably different cities of the same country, or maybe different countries as well. Now, due to this changes or different type of teams, test manager had to take care of a lot of things in order to make sure that they have proper communications and good relationship in order to make sure that they are well connected and well information has been shared in a proper manner. Now that's what we are trying to explore in this particular segment, that what a test manager should be responsible for in terms of different types of team when they are either together or distributed. Now, the very first thing is let's understand what these terms stands for, that is distributed, outsourced and insourced testing or teams. Now, in many cases, some or perhaps even all the test effort is done by people in different locations employed by different companies or separated from the project teams. Now, of course, we may experience any of these kind of opportunities that the team might be co-located or might be distributed from different locations, or they might not be employee of the same organizations. Some of the engineers are from different organizations but working closely with you to assist you with several unique level of testing. If the test effort occurs at multiple locations, the test effort is called as distributed. Now, this completely means that when the team is not at one particular city or place and people are distributed, but you are all working for one particular project, and that's what you call it as distributed testing. If the test effort is carried out at one or more locations by the people who are not employees of the company and who are not co-located with the project team, this test effort is called as outsourced. I think that's a very common term whenever we talk about pushing something to the outside organization. We call it as we are getting outsourced. That means somebody else other than you will be doing it, but at the same time, we do consider that these people are evenly distributed as well. They're just not outsourced and working together. There might be the outsourced organization have different branches across the country or probably different countries as well, and people are working from different locations. But if the test effort is carried out by the people who are co-located with the project team but who are not the fellow employees, that test effort is called as insourced. That means it is not just probably like the same team who is working on it within the particular organization. You may have different teams or probably different projects from where the team members comes into your project to associate with you. Generally, when it comes to the product-based organizations, when a particular product needs assistance from electrical or electronics team, that is not actually a part of your project team, or these members are not from your project, but of course you call them to associate with your one of the projects and assist you in order to do your or get your job done. So you call this as insourced. That means they work at one place, but of course they are not your fellow members. They might be invited to your organization or they are working at client locations. That's what you say. So we call it as insourced. There's another one thing which completely denies all three options and called as centralized. Centralized means that the employees are from the same organization and they are co-located as well. And that's the fourth thing, which is called as centralized. Now, common across all such test effort is the need for clear channel of communication. The very first thing we're talking about is establishing a proper communication channel between all these members. Now, of course, for centralized, that's the reason we don't have that here in our syllabus, because centralized does not really have to do any kind of concerns with the communication. But of course, in these three cases, when you see that either your team is distributed or your team is outsourced or your team is insourced, but they are not the fellow employees, so their standards, their way of talking, their way of reporting things might be different. And that's the reason the test manager is responsible here to set up and establish a proper communication channel so that they can communicate very well. Now, what exactly this communication is all about? That is method of communication. That will we be using reporting or email communications or dashboard? What is that which is common to both of them? or different organizations, which will be easy for them to understand. Or if you talk about, when you talk about the terminologies, standards, or any other typical things which you make use of as a part of your project, can also be considered as a part of the mode of communication or channel for communication. So that's where we really understand, because there are a lot of things, for example, missions, tasks, and deliverables, which need to be taken care of. And that's what we need to set up a proper communication for that. Because in case you go wrong with the communication, things will be other way around. The project team must rely less on the informal communication channels, such as hallway conversation and colleagues sending social time together. No, we are not going to consider that as a proper channel of communication. Rather, we are talking about the official way of communicating. Is it important to have defined ways in which communication should occur? For example, including addressing topics such as escalation of the problem, types of information to be communicated, and methods of communication to be used. So everything has to be well determined, well established, so that the team finds it easy to follow and follows the guidelines in order to meet the expectations of the communication. The second important challenge, what do we face here, is about the team relationship. Because, of course, when you are distributed, probably we have not seen each other, we don't know each other, but we are always talking to them or communicating with them through the mails and other things. That sometimes becomes difficult to have a good relationship with them, or have a reliability, or having a good collaboration between them. So test manager should try to understand these kind of situations as well, and set up a good relationship between them, and find different ways so that they can have a good trust factor there and good collaboration in order to resolve the issues of the relationship between these co-located team, the distributed team or outsourced team, and then have everything well done. So everyone on all sides of the team relationship must have clear understanding of their roles and responsibility, as well as the other parties' roles and responsibility, to avoid misunderstanding and unrealistic expectations. Now, of course, generally that does happen, because probably you're not sure what kind of responsibility the other side guy has, and what kind of responsibility you have is not known to that person. So having a clear understanding of what kind of responsibility does the other person has is very important, because that will definitely add a lot of information to your understanding, that what should I be communicating to him, what should I not be communicating to him, and many other things like that. Further to add, we are talking about in more detail that what kind of methodology can assets can help you to set up a good approach. So also common across all such test effort is the need for alignment of the methodologies, because maybe organization A follows a Scrum in a way, and organization B is slightly different than them in following the Scrum again. Now, of course, you do have mixed methodologies or scaled agile frameworks, which might slightly vary here and there between the organizations. So we need to make sure that when we are working with such outsourced or insourced team, we have people from different organizations who might be not aware of what your standards are. So setting up certain, your methodologies in such a way that people do understand that what your steps are all about, what kind of phases do you follow, when do you do the estimation, when do you do the planning, and a lot many other things. While misalignment of the methodologies can occur in any project, it is more likely to arise in situations where the work is distributed or performed by outside entities. If two testing groups are different methodologies, or testing group uses a different methodology than the development or project management, this can result in significant problems, especially during the test execution. For distributed testing, the division of the test work across the multiple locations must be explicit and intelligently decided. Without such guidance, the most competent group may not do the test work for which they are qualified for. In addition, if each team does not know what they are responsible for, they may not do what they are supposed to do. So now we do understand that, being a test manager, you will be controlling different team of people at different locations, and you need to be sure about what kind of responsibilities each team has got. And you need to judge that what your different team skill set is, what kind of abilities they have got, and choosing that activity to give them to the right set of team will definitely lead you to success. So you need to be sure about what kind of assets they have got, what kind of responsibility or abilities they have, and then distribute the responsibilities of the project accordingly to them. Because if in case we get misguided with those things, probably we are asking someone to do someone to prepare a cup of tea who doesn't even know what to do about what exactly kitchen is all about. So we need to be very careful with these kind of things when setting up the team and distributing the roles and responsibility to them. Finally, for all such test effort, it is critical that the entire project team develop and maintain trust at all the times, that all of the test teams will carry out their roles properly in spite of organizational, cultural, language, and geographical boundaries. Lack of trust leads to inefficiencies and delays associated with verifying activities, apportioning blame for the problems, and playing organization politics. So of course we do face these kind of things now and then, every time, within many of our organizations, and this is very common. It's not that you can say, oh, my organization does not have a proportional issue, or I don't have a relationship problems, or I don't have a politics in my organization. You have, and no matter you don't agree or not. But being a test manager, we need to set up that trust factor that, okay, we do understand that this is the problem which we are facing from this team, but let's decide how to tackle this. Okay, and let's get more professional from the terms of getting the information from them, so that we can understand what exactly the product is all about and test that efficiently. Well, that was a small thing to talk about when you talk about the distributed and outsourced and insourced team. And that's what we just wanted to be clear about, that being a test manager, how do you manage such teams within an organization. Well, that's all from this particular tutorial, team. Should you have anything else, feel free to comment below. I'm always there to address your queries and answer them well. Till then, keep learning, keep exploring, keep understanding the context. Thanks for watching the video, team, and happy learning.